You are listening to Song to the Siren, a Coriolis effect actual play. Part 1. Hello and welcome to sunny Suffolk, Norfolk border, where we're playing Coriolis, which is what this podcast started all about. My name is Matthew and I'm the GM, and I'd like to introduce my marvellous players.
We're going to leave them.
Yeah, maybe you guys leave and we'll get the marvellous players in. But in the meantime, guys, let's put up
My name is Andrew and I'm playing Salem, the pilot.
I'm Tony and my character is Salah Otho, brother of Yaphet.
And I'm Dave and I'm playing Yaphet Otho, who is obviously the brother of Salah.
Now, the last time we all played Coriolis together was round this table.
A year ago.
We didn't record it, it's not a podcast, but things went badly for you guys because I had a great big pool of darkness points and I tried to spend them fruitlessly, as it turned out, because as I piled on the pressure, you kept making more prayers, giving me more darkness points, and in the end you were so broken that we kind of had to end the scenario with you guys getting arrested. I enjoyed it. I don't know that you did, but
It was hard work.
it was entertaining for me as a GM. And that's the last time we played. Now, shortly after that, we had a follow-up scenario at Dragonmeet, where some other guys investigated what had been going on and made some decisions about that. But what has happened to Yaphet, to Salem, and to Salah? This is where we find out. So, guys, it's all been a bit of a blur. For a start, you had loads of analgesics and opioid painkillers during your early surgery. When
This is not while we were playing the last night.
As we were saying, over this weekend.
Yes.
So, Shmigol, this dice tray with all that's not the number of darkness points you've got, is it?
No.
That's
So
that's relief.
that's all the darkness points that you can give me.
Okay, that's...
Excellent.
But I have decided things went so badly for you, and to be honest, they're going to get worse before they get better, that I would start off with no darkness points. This is like the beginning of a new campaign in many respects, actually.
This is another rebirth for Yaphet. This is a third one.
Yet another rebirth for Yaphet. So you spent probably weeks in a hospital on Mirror in some sort of drugged up haze. You vaguely remember people coming to interrogate you about what had gone on. You probably vaguely remember some sort of trial where various charges were put against you of theft from the library of the Weeping Matriarchy.
It was a lie. We've been set up.
Yep, we weren't there.
Yeah, I think there were cases made on that. And you were apparently working for somebody else.
And it was going so well, up to the point we were escaping.
Yeah.
And then just group of guards after group of guards after group of guards kept bloody coming.
Well, you know what they say: reinforcements, darkness points. Anyway, let's move on.
They say Matt is a bastard.
In previous games you were saying you hadn't shot enough people, so I just gave you plenty of people to shoot. Anyway, there was a trial. You were sentenced to incarceration, and almost immediately after that trial, you were put into stasis beds. That's pretty much the last thing you remember until the moment that we're about to start. Now, I will say what I'm going to describe is happening to all of you, but not your impression will be as you as an individual, not together.
Okay.
So first of all, you're beginning to wake up in the stasis bed in the way that is kind of common for anybody that's travelled through portals in the Third Horizon. The stasis bed perhaps isn't quite as fancy as the ones that you had on Al-Muqaddir, your ship. Mukafar.
Muqaddir is your other campaign.
Yeah. No. Sorry, on the Mukafar, a little bit more basic. But the first thing that happens is there's a kind of blinding light which is instantly dulled out by photochromic glass on your dome. But for a moment, there's this bright flash of light.
We're in the stasis pod still.
You're still in the
Not even
stasis
out,
pod,
okay.
yeah. You're kind of waking up in the stasis pod. You don't know where the others are.
Yep.
For all you know, you're alone in your stasis pod. The stasis pod starts to fill with a sort of pinkish gel that comes squirting out of the sides, and you sense that it's moving. And suddenly, with a great deal of force, it gets ejected. And I would like you all...
This pinkish gel, will we know what this is? Is it some sort of protection against G-forces that's been deliberately... So would we know...
I don't know whether you'd know it, but you've guessed it.
Okay, right, we are regular space travelers. We might well be familiar with that kind of protective technology, won't we?
Yeah, I guess so.
Even
Although you might...
even if we could never afford it for our ships, conceptually we would know about it.
Yeah, you might know it. You've never necessarily experienced it because you've never been in an escape pod, as far as I'm aware.
Is this yeah, okay. What do we need to roll then, Matt?
And I'm asking you to roll a thing, and I've just lost my notes. There we go. My notes are here. So first of all, I want you all to make a force test.
Force.
As the ejection is actually quite...
Painful.
Well, we'll see how painful it is, depending on how you make a force test. You're in this sort of gel that's meant to prevent, the worst knocks and scrapes, but you've just been shot out of a ship like a torpedo, effectively.
So what are we meant to roll then?
No, I get no successes.
I get one success.
One success.
Okay.
Do I want to start off as we need to go on and push that?
Yeah, let's give him more darkness points. Why not?
He doesn't have any yet.
I have no darkness points yet.
Well,
I mean, it could be. You could start being injured.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
okay.
couldn't you potentially? So it might be
Okay, I'm going to push that. Yep, I succeed.
Okay.
But you get a darkness
So
point.
darkness point for me, my first darkness point of the day, and I'm immediately
the
spending
first
that back as your
minutes.
liquid drains out of your... No.
That wouldn't surprise me, frankly.
So, Tony, you succeeded in your force test.
One success.
One
yes.
success.
One success.
Yeah. So you both, well, all three of you eventually, kind of realise that you need to kind of brace yourself against the sides. And you are sensing enormous vibration of re-entry as the whole thing is shaking. It's quite disorientating. But I'd also like you to take one radiation point.
Yeah. First time in my Coriolis experience that anyone's used radiation.
Well, it's funny you should say that. I thought we should give the radiation mechanic a go.
Yeah. Oh, good.
No, maybe
Thanks.
not.
Yeah,
No.
great.
Let's do that with my epidermis, why don't you?
Yeah. And with that radiation point, you have to roll one dice. And I can't. I've just forgotten. Did I write it down? No, stupidly I didn't.
No, well done.
I'm going to look it up on here. Actually, it'll probably save time. I can't remember whether you're meant to get sixes or ones, but everybody roll one dice and tell me what they've got.
5.
6.
5.
Okay.
Let's hope high is good.
Yeah.
Often it isn't, is it? I hope.
Oh no, sorry. Who got a 6?
Tony.
I got a 6.
Take 1 point of damage. 1 hit point.
From radiation burn, is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you've been exposed in these relatively unshielded things for a moment to all the radiation in space without any sort of suit or atmospheric filter.
Presumably, once we land wherever we're landing, all the equipment and gear that we had before, we won't have any of that now.
You might, as you're rattling down through the atmosphere now, you might well be thinking, "Shit, we haven't got any of that kit, have we?" And in fact, if you want to look down at your body, you realise you're kind of naked except for a pair of sort of swimming trunks.
Joy.
We're going to a seaside resort.
We're going to a beach party.
And can I get everybody to make a dexterity test? Because you realise that you're going to be hitting the ground quite soon, and you want to try and get into a position that's going to minimise impact.
Okay. You need a torch, Andy.
Yeah.
I have one success.
I have one success.
Is it agility? You roll on or?
Dexterity and agility, yeah.
Yeah, if you don't have any dexterity skill, it's just your agility.
So it's just your agility, Andy.
That'd be
5 dice. That's not bad, is it? 3 1s, a 2 and a 5.
I'm going to get a torch. I'm dead, am I? Oh well.
No, but you're not praying as you head down.
Is there a chapel on board my skateboard?
It's the little one, a little shrine that we can make.
So I can roll these dice again. I want to, can't I?
Yep.
You roll all the dice again if you want to, and
point.
nothing breaks. This isn't
Darkness point for
darkness
me.
point.
Oh well, that's better.
2 successes.
2 successes. Okay, so as the, this is amazing shuddering. It's quite disorientating, and finally, I want you to make a. Give me your spreadsheet. I didn't bloody write down the test I wanted to make. What's your? Just a straight wits test, please.
No fruit.
We haven't got a skill.
Oh, 1 success. Excellent.
1 success.
2 successes.
Okay, so it's really disorientating. You're kind of spinning round. You can't find the focus on the horizon. You're a lesser man would be entirely disoriented, probably vomiting in the thing. But you're focusing on closing your eyes, not looking out through the sort of viewport thing that you had, and then suddenly take another force test.
Okay.
So it's just 1 dice, not 3 dice.
Well, no, it's a force skill.
Force skill plus strength. Number of dice.
So you haven't got force skill.
So just your strength then.
Strength. Oh, well, that's 4.
I have 1 success.
2.
2.
I have no successes, but I'm not sure I want to give you more darkness points at this point.
I'm just going to get a torch so I can read the.
Yeah, okay.
So you're not. So okay. So
I'm not gonna.
suddenly,
Although I've only got 6 hit points.
massive deceleration happens, and you're going to take a hit point unless you want to give me a darkness point. And do you
I'll take a hit point.
Okay. So take a hit point. Wow.
That's the sound of the outside of my escape pod.
Yeah. Plenty up in re-entry. Now you've gone through re-entry now. Parachutes have deployed. Massive deceleration. You guys just about cope with it. Hey, you've been knocked about a bit. And you're coming in, and if you want to open your eyes and look out, you kind of everything's a lot more still now. You can see the ground racing up towards you, and then thump, bam.
Yeah, I want to have a good look around as best I can on the way down to see what's around.
Take a look at what the terrain is like about where we're landing.
Sorry?
Have a look at the terrain around. Can I see any other pods coming down? In my view?
Yes, I think you can. There's probably.
Should we pause for a sec? What's that? Going bananas.
It is really, isn't it? So yeah, if you're looking around in the final stretches, you can see some way in the distance. It's not like you're all 5 feet from each other by any means. It's hundreds of yards, kilometres, possibly. You can see other parachutes with little black dots hanging beneath them, and you realise it's
How many do you think you can see?
You can't count them.
Can I make an observation
Quite a
test?
few.
More than
Not just 2 others.
more than 2 others. Yeah.
You're looking at dozens.
Well, hard to count.
Can I do an observation test? Try and get a rough figure.
Okay, but at -2 because it's still kind of spinning around.
Okay. Yeah, 2 successes.
Okay, so you reckon between 10 and 20.
Okay. And for me, are they all around? Am I kind of in the middle of the pattern, or are they all on one side?
The terrain.
Well, as it turns, do I see some over there, and then I don't see some over there as I turn, and then I see some over there again? Are there 2 successes?
Yeah. I've given you between 10 and 20. It's difficult and disorienting journey down.
I know. I've still got 2 successes with minus 2 dice, though.
And the other question you asked was, what sort of terrain is it?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
do you answer the terrain?
I did ask that, yes.
You asked the terrain, and it's California TV desert type terrain. So
Okay.
sandy, scrubby, hot looking terrain.
Cheap location for the movie.
Yeah. Well, it's only the first scene, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to put one of your decent money shots up front.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, this is going for the long game. And actually, it's been so long since we've done this that there's no money for this sequel, so it's all going to be quite low budget.
This is straight to DVD.
Indeed, it is. And then you thump onto the ground and you're pulled along by the parachute for a bit, scraping around, but you're kind of used to this now. You brace yourselves, and at some point the parachute automatically disengages, and you come to a halt.
Stop. All right.
Okay.
Then, at some point, there's a kind of click and a thump, and your
canopy pops.
yeah, it doesn't quite pop. On your ship, it might go, and you get the breath of air. This is you feel it's unlocked. It hasn't opened, but it's kind of unlocked. It's unlocked, except for
Oh dear.
A darkness point.
yours, Tony.
Pity it wasn't mine, because I might have had a chance of techieing my sciencing the shit out of it.
Yes, unfortunately, we haven't got a gun with me to shoot it at. Have I? I'll just have to punch it till it opens.
Okay.
Well.
With mine, is there anything inside this pod that I can salvage? Is there a material on the seat that I was on that I could tear out and use as a hat, or is there?
There might be, but you're in the pod at the moment, so you're sitting on any material there is.
So is it like a really tight pod that I can't really move?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you'll be able to push the hatch open, but there's not.
It seems like a stasis tube.
Yeah.
It's not, okay.
Okay, so I'm trying to push my hatch open, and I'm assuming I can't because it's locked. Still?
Yeah, I think so. Do you want to give it a?
I'm going to give it a kick on them. See if there's some sort of catch or something that I can see.
Try a force roll. See if you can force it open.
I get 2 successes on the force roll.
Yeah, so you feel it's giving, maybe at one end, but it hasn't, if you'd used that amount of strength on an unlocked one, it would have just flown off.
Yeah.
Well, pushing it open then.
Okay, the first thing that strikes you is the heat. You're in a hot desert. The pink fluid is kind of drained away, and there's a sort of mix of both the hot desert and actually the remainders of the pink fluid evaporating on your skin, cooling your skin at the moment. But you can feel it's kind of.
Has the pink fluid drained away out onto the ground?
No, back into
because I'm going to push mine off and have a look outside.
Yeah, maybe it's just done it on the ground. These are kind of disposable. These things is what you're realising as you investigate. Nobody comes to pick them up and recycle them, so it doesn't go into a tank.
Is this place littered with these things?
Yeah.
Well, it's
old
littered.
Ones.
Not. You might expect that, but no.
Okay. Okay, I wanted to take a look at the pod then, see if there's anything I can salvage.
So
See if I can fashion a sun hat out of.
Okay, so the first thing you notice is there's a sort of locker with your name on it at the foot of the pod.
Let's open up the locker.
And inside that there is
The keys to the Mukafar.
a set of grey coveralls and a sun hat and a pair of boots.
Okay, I shall put them on.
Is that the same with every pod, is it?
Well, you haven't looked for it, but you might imagine that you'll find one.
Yeah, if I open, so
I'm going to just keep kicking. If I feel that my pod canopy is giving, I'm just going to keep kicking it. I'll try and brace myself against my seat at the point where it feels like it's giving, so give it some extra force.
Okay. Do another force roll. I'll work you on that one.
I get another 2 successes.
Okay, so you there's not much room to get in here, but you kind of slide yourself down, put your knees. Well, you probably try and turn yourself over, then get your knees under you, and then sort of push up with your hands and knees pushing against the back, and you feel something break. And it's just fine. No, you feel something break in the sort of catch, and the pod door lifts off.
Okay.
So you're up. If you're looking at, you could salvage plastic and metal from this, but that's kind of all there is.
I want to try and salvage. What I'm trying to salvage is something from the material that I can perhaps put over my shoulders, rather than just a hat.
The hat's got a sunshade. It's got a kind of it's like the ones you see little kids in Japan having. It's got a peak and a
okay. And I want to extract something from it that I could use as a weapon. So metal strut or some kind of.
Well, the challenge is finding something that's kind of blade shaped or something.
Just something that I can use almost just as a club, really. Use my gearhead talent to do that, maybe?
Yeah.
So, technology roll?
Yeah?
Yep. Okay, I'm going to push that. That's one success, but I'm going to pray. Come on, beast. Give me something to get me out of this shithole. Oh, fuck you. One success.
One success. Okay, for one success, you haven't got any tools at all. There's all sorts of things you can craft out of this. If only you had something as basic as a screwdriver, but you haven't got that.
Yeah.
You can rip a bit of piping off. It's not, you feel it's neither rigid nor heavy enough to work as a club, but it might at least work as some sort of parrying weapon, or you could use it as a club.
Okay.
But you might decide in the end it's just better to hit somebody.
Okay. Well,
So presumably I'm going to look around and I'll find my locker.
Yeah. Same as everybody else. It's a
I'll
set
put
of
on-
grey overalls,
put on the
yellow
clothes.
stripe down the sleeves,
no.
Put that all on.
which you've all got, hat, pair of boots.
We'll have a look around the pod. Is there any?
Oh, sorry, and there's also in all of those things, there's a canteen of water
Oh, right.
and kind of Nutri-bars, a couple of Nutri-bars that you've sort of seen these before in survival kits. You tear off a mouthful should last a day, and you've probably got
Limbus bread.
a couple of weeks worth.
Do we have 2 weeks worth of water?
No,
No.
again, you could ration it, and I don't know how long you'd make it last. But
Right. So when is? So when I'm just looking around to see who else is around or.
you're looking around.
Yes.
Okay, so you can see across the horizon, hundreds of yards apart, other people getting out of pods. It's really hard to spot Yaphet or any of your crewmates because everybody's dressed in these grey overalls with these kind of hats over their heads.
That's right.
But you also see, as you're looking around, in the distance, a sort of trail of dust.
All right.
Like kicked up by a vehicle.
Vehicles.
You think so, yes.
Kicked up by the Java
Can I see that? Do I see that as well?
Or you haven't been looking. He's seen it first.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll have a look. Once I've finished trying to rip as much as I can of use out of my little pod, I shall obviously.
Well, while you're doing that, Tony, is there anything you want to do?
I'm going to look around outside my pod to see if there's anything I can use as an improvised weapon, even just a rock, or if there's any vegetation.
Yeah,
or something.
the vegetation is sort of heathery, crappy stuff. There's nothing heavy, but yeah, there's plenty of rocks.
I'm going to try and find a reasonable sharpish rock that will kind of fit in the hand and just kind of carry that. Just to give me something to carry. And
Right.
give me some weight in my hand.
Yeah, look around, look for cover.
There's not much cover. There's probably an outcrop of rocks that you could head for about 400 yards away.
No, head for the outcrop then.
Okay. Having wrenched your pipe work off and really decided as, again, a screwdriver, and you could rip strips of this metal to shreds and use some stuff, but nothing else you can do. You look up and you see this bit of smoke, and it's coming towards you.
How far away is it, roughly?
Well, right now it's probably 1 kilometre away.
And it's coming at some pace.
It's hard to say. Not massively fast. In fact, given some of the vessels you've driven and flown in, it's not coming at very fast at all.
Say where nearest cover for me?
Again, there's this rocky outcrop. Let's say if you're both looking for it.
One of the three of us looking for some cover.
For you, it's 300 yards away, and for you, it's another 400 yards away.
Okay, well, I'm heading for it.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm looking at my character sheet because I've got no equipment to help me, have I? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Make a dash.
Okay, so Andy, since you were the first to see it, you get to those rocks quite quickly. But you other guys, can I get you to make a move roll?
There is no move in this game.
Oh God! What,
Too much
athletics?
Too much. There's no athletics, dexterity.
Show me your spreadsheet again.
Dexterity is probably the best one.
Now this is the danger of year 0. You've got broadly the same mechanics. Yeah, I reckon dexterity is the one you're going to have to go with. Yeah.
Okay.
Dexterity.
Looks like.
I think that's 4 dice for me.
I get no successes. Probably not going to push.
No, I get no successes either. I'm probably not going to push. Do I see as I'm running what looks like my double running as well?
Yeah, I guess not everybody has even noticed the dust cloud yet, so it's not like everybody's running towards it.
So do I see 2 twins running to...
Yeah.
So as I realise that I'm never going to make it to there before this dust vehicle gets to us, and I see who I suspect must be Salah, I'm going to make a dash for Salah.
Okay.
Salah!
Don't shout.
Yaphet!
Salah!
Oh! Don't shout!
Salah!
One of the things you notice, actually, although it would have caught you, and you both realise that, and your legs are weak because actually you've been in stasis for some time. So this is the first bit of walking you've done for ages. It would have caught you, but it stopped.
Has it stopped at another pod further down the line? Do we hear a...
No, you don't hear it at all.
Or a scream of someone saying, "No, don't kill me!"
Well, it's too far away for you to see what's going on, but there is some activity around one of the pods.
So, in this cover, is there anything, branches or anything like that, or any?
There's a brand new box marked Vulcan Cricket. No, there isn't.
With a box next to it saying, and one for Yaphet and Salah.
No, there's rocks essentially
Right, okay.
in terms of weapons. But you're looking out from the rocks, and can you make an observation roll?
Observation roll. That is wits, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, you do. I think that's just going to be a wits roll, I think. Yep. Okay. So that'd be 3. No.
Okay, you can't quite make it. You can see this vehicle. You can't really make out even what vehicle it is. It's stopped at one of the furthest away pods. Actually, what you can see, you didn't really see what was going on, but you can see that whatever activity there was has stopped, and the vehicle is now making its way to the next one.
Next pod, all right. Can I see any figures trying to run away from it, or? The vehicle?
Not particularly. Well, there's probably these guys are still out at the moment, greeting each other and shouting to each other.
Still heading for the.
We're still heading for the
rocks, as fast
especially
as
now
we
we've
can.
seen that the.
No, you're running towards each other in slow motion.
Well, there might be a bit of that, but at an angle towards the rocks, hopefully.
Yeah.
But you don't see what's going on. You guys arrive at the rocks and each other almost simultaneously.
Looks like we're on Tatooine. Sorry, Dune. Oh no, sorry.
You're not on Tatooine because Tatooine, they went to North Africa to film that.
This is
more
beach
like
in Dorset.
Any one of the planets from Firefly. What are you doing?
Let's get into the rocks.
Into cover.
Okay.
Once we're in there, is there this bit of pipe I've got? Is there a rock or something I can use to just sort of batter the end down to make it sharp, to make it more of a?
This rock is kind of sandstony, so it's not like you can make a flint thing, but you.
No, because what I want to just use the weight of a rock to flatten the end of my pipe that I've got, to turn it into a sharper edge rather than so I can stab
you can
people
give
with
that a go. Make a what's your?
Yeah. So what bonus do I get for gearheads?
I can't remember. It's so long since we've played.
It's been at least a year. Give me one moment to check. Okay. I don't think it gives me any dice bonus.
No, I don't think it does.
You can repair an item with jury rig or one use contraption for a specific task. The number of sixes on your roll determines the gear bonus of the item. Okay, so if I get a load of successes, then maybe I've made it really sharp.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's only 8. It's 8 dice. Come on. 1 success. Which gives me a +1 knife, effectively. Do I want to push that? What do you reckon? Yeah, I think if I can make it really sharp, that might make a difference. I know, that's the trouble.
The darkness harvest begins.
So 2 successes.
Okay, so you've made a decent +2 shiv, basically.
Yeah.
It was a weak pipe, so you reckon you probably get 1 hit out of it. You'll leave some part of it in the victim, but it is a bit of a shiv.
Would I see these two run into the rocks, or?
Yeah.
Alright.
Go high, better expert.
Okay.
It's gonna go the other way.
Yeah, no, not those two, not again.
Just when I thought I'd gone away from them.
Worse.
So you've got quite a good observation point while these two are faffing about.
Yeah.
He hasn't seen. What are you doing?
I'm just obviously staying with the effort, and while he's fashioning his weapon, I'm looking around just to see what's happening.
I'm just going to watch
this vehicle's getting closer, and
I'm going to watch it again. To see if I can do a better.
Sorry?
Can I have another roll to see her?
Observation?
Yes.
Okay.
See. Ooh, one success.
One success. Okay. So yeah, it's closer now, and you do begin to see. Well, what you see actually is somebody who's between you and this vehicle. They can see clearly what's going on. And they start making a run for it across the desert. And again, whatever activity is going on at the vehicle stops, and it starts off again. But this time, it's not going to the next pod. It's chasing this running guy down.
All right.
And if you're doing nothing, anybody else? No.
Is this guy running towards us?
No, he's right. He
Running
hasn't really twigged that.
Have Tony and I seen him? Have Salah and I seen him?
Tony might see him, but he's the one that did the observation role.
Okay.
So
there's nothing we can do about it because we don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And you kind of see this guy flailing. You can see his sort of water bottle. He drops his water bottle and he leaves it. Actually, you see it's a woman. And this vehicle, which is almost like a milk float.
Was it?
Death by milk float.
Was it? What was it? The Benny Hill thing.
Benny Hill.
Ernie, and he drives the fastest milk cart in the West.
Well, this is a bit faster than the milk floats we may remember from our youth, but it's kind of that sort of open-sided.
If all the thing's bringing us milk, we don't need to run away.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna. Okay, no, I didn't see it, did I?
But what you can see is somebody's leaning out the side, and this milk float kind of overtakes. What did I hit?
The chair.
And you can see the person leaning outside sort of clubs the woman around the head as it overtakes her, and she goes flying, and then it stops, and basically they unceremoniously pick her up, maybe put a pair of cuffs around her. You're not entirely sure what they're doing, but they kind of bind her up in some way, and they lift her on, and you recognise there's a pile of bound people in where the crates of milk would go.
Is this causing a commotion? Have we heard it? So can we be watching some of this?
No, I think you've seen it. You've been making this weapon, but now you can pop up. He can point it out to you.
Yeah, I think it looks like kind of harvest to me, doesn't it? It's,
Harvest would be a good description. Yeah.
Harvesting the prisoners or the people.
People, yeah.
Did you see? Note where she dropped her water, because we might need that if we get the chance to come back and get it.
Can I have a roll to see what I can?
Well, what you do see is, once she's tied up, this makes her quite a large. It's turning circles, not brilliant. It makes a bit of a U-turn because it's past a bunch of other people in things.
Is it floating? Is it actually floating, or is it
no,
on wheels?
No, it's on wheels. That's why the dust was getting kicked out.
Yeah.
It's kind of, well, now you're looking at it, actually looks a bit jury-rigged. It's not like a vehicle. You could even say that you'd recognise some of the panels of it being the outer casing of some of these
pods.
Yeah. And anyway, with that chase, a whole bunch of other people saw that chase and scattering in all sorts of directions.
How far from us to the point where she dropped the water is it?
Well, it stops to pick up the water.
Bastards.
Oh, yeah.
But then goes on. They don't seem to be that worried about everybody running off in different directions, as everybody is running off in different directions.
Right.
And I get a bit of darkness point here to say that one of the people running off, without realising you're here, is running straight towards you.
Ooh.
They're not chasing him.
Not yet.
So from where we are, this rocky cover that we've got, what's around us? Is this just like a rocky lump in the middle of a huge desert, or is there?
Well, there are rocks further away, but yeah, it's like the California desert. So there's.
This isn't like on the edge of the beginnings of some mountains or hills that we can just disappear into. We've got to cross desert to get to more rock.
You'd have to get to more rock from This is like a lump of rock in the middle of a desert.
Yeah, and how far is it to to a proper sized bit of rock, like a little mountain range?
Probably a couple of kilometres.
All right, bugger.
And how many people were on this float? As in,
well,
how many people rounding up other people? How many?
Well,
you can be sure that there were two. There was somebody driving. There was somebody clubbing.
Right.
But you can't be sure there wasn't a third.
Okay.
Or fourth, even, I guess.
Because it doesn't look like that well organised or high tech an operation, is it?
Well, we might be able to take them by surprise and take their little.
We can only see one vehicle. We can't see. There's no others around that we can see.
Well, actually, now you're looking around for that. You do see another trail of dust heading this way as well, from the same direction as the first one.
What, just one trail of dust, or?
Well, there's the one vehicle that's here among them, and there's another trail of dust coming. Yeah.
What do you reckon, guys?
Well, this doesn't look like the official prison
Welcoming part.
Well, I guess we don't, as characters, don't even know that we are being sent to prison, do we?
No, although
You remember being sentenced.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, okay.
Imagine
But this looks more like the prison is you just get dumped on this planet, and these people have the ones who've been strongest and have.
This is Escape from New York, isn't it?
Effectively, effectively taken over the
planet
society of the prison planet. So they're not guards; they're other prisoners who are basically harvesting the new arrivals to enslave them and take their water and whatever else they've got.
Okay,
so we got that hide up in the mountain, the rocks, and jump them as they jump that guy who's running towards us. Or we could
make a run for it
in
the opposite direction. But 2K is quite a long way to. I mean, I can run that in about 11 and a half minutes.
Okay, for Darkness Point, that bloke who's running towards you is getting quite close, but he's definitely being chased now.
All right.
Okay. Can we judge where he will have reached at the point that this thing is going to catch him?
Probably about 10 yards away from your...
And I say, is there a bit of cover? Okay, for us.
So, I mean...
Although where we are in the rocks, are we somewhere where they couldn't particularly bring the vehicle near to us? If they wanted to catch us, they would have to get out of their vehicle to come and get us?
Yeah. Yeah, if
okay, so
we could just try and stay hidden in the rocks if they do come in.
Or when they're wrapping him up, we could charge them. So you think they're going to get within about 10 yards of our position?
Yeah, he'll probably
before they get to whack him.
Get clubbed. He's tiring again. Legs are weak.
And is there like an outcrop we can jump off that he'll reach, or
make a survival roll?
I could probably have a. Oh no, maybe not. I can certainly have a go at that. Yeah, it's wits, which is good because I've got five wits.
I get one success.
No, I didn't.
Survival, I got survival and plus 4.
Okay, with your
let's see how many successes Andy gets.
Soldier's brain.
2 successes from Salem as well. From your executioner's brain.
In terms of what you're talking about here, you could find a hiding place that was a little bit raised and potentially could be a thing that you could leap off onto somebody, a little bit like the ancient art form Assassin's Creed.
Alright, okay.
We can jump off a very, very, very high building into a hay bale and survive then.
This is one of the lower.
Alright.
You can jump off an outcrop of rocks onto a bloke,
which is good enough. So, what's your melee combat, guys?
Oh god. It's agility again, isn't it?
I've got 5 in total.
I've got 6 in total.
And do you have talents like executioner?
No, my talents are intimidating, a friend in every port, and the dancer's talent.
That's 6 in total.
So your melee is 6.
Yours is 6. Mine is 5. I have the executioner talent, but also.
So the execution talent, is that the one that lets you switch your
if I crit round? So Matt, what I've done is I've looked up the lowest stats for a knife.
Yeah.
And that will be, so with this shiv that I've worked on, it will be a bonus of +2, initiative of +1, damage 2, crit 2.
Okay.
Which means you'd need to do 3 successes, which I'm unlikely to do on 5 dice. Now, I do also have
one of the stats for a slightly sharp rock.
But I'm thinking, whoever's got the best chance of critting should take my shiv and use it. So I also have.
Do you have the executioner's talent?
No, I'm just thinking.
He has got the best chance of critting.
I also have
Andy has.
Andy, well, he's got 6 dice.
So
have I.
Oh, right.
But I also have Humanites.
Okay.
Humanite epidermis, isn't it? Hardened.
You've got a hardened epidermis, yes.
So I think I've also got a talent of blessing. So once per session.
Right, and give your instruction now. They're getting close, and I want everybody to make a survival roll after you've said whatever you're about to say.
Right. Okay, I'm pushing the shiv into Salah's hands.
Salah's hands.
Yeah.
And sending him out there.
And I'm giving him the blessing of the beast which gives him +3 dice to 1 action.
Have you got that? What is
I have. I took it as my last XP. So blessing. Once per session, you can bless another PC, giving her a +3 to 1 action. The receiver of the blessing must be within close range. In combat, imparting the blessing is a slow action. The GM gets 1 darkness point.
Right. Okay.
But basically, this is probably the most important fight of the game, to not have us taken away into custody straight away. So. Take my shiv, I bless you, so you then use it to kill the cunt. Sorry.
Okay, everybody.
Then use it to kill the guy.
and
I'll take your rock.
Everybody make a survival roll to hide.
Yep.
1.
No successes.
1 success.
Better push that really.
Yep. Okay.
No, still no successes.
So he sees you on the top of the rock and he starts waving, "Help! Help! They're after me!"
God.
Okay, go. Look like you're exhausted. Yeah. Go down there and be lying down, and when they come to grab you, kill one of them, and when you do that, we'll jump the others.
You're on top of the rock.
Because they'll see you, won't they? And this guy will blow us.
How far away are you guys chasing?
They're 20 yards behind him now.
Okay, I'm going to climb down from the rock.
So you two are hidden.
Yep. Do that as if you're exhausted and wasted and just
Can I see how many people are in the vehicle now while they're yapping away?
Yeah, me too.
There just do appear to be 2 women in the vehicle.
2 women?
Yeah.
Armed with?
Can't tell.
Observation roll? Got 6 dice.
Make an observation roll.
No successes. No, okay. I can't tell.
No.
Okay.
What are you doing, Tony?
I am doing exactly what
I'll be hearing from you.
Yaphet has suggested. I am heading out towards the person who's calling for help, as if I'm going to help him, but I'm...
What are you doing with your shiv? It's kind of about this long.
I'm kind of holding it behind me. Okay. I'm going and looking as if I'm totally knackered, and I'll kind of crumple
from your viewpoint. You can see the 2 women in the front of the vehicle kind of look quizzically, and I think you're trying to look like you're weak and feeble and not got a shift behind your back. I'd like you to do a manipulate roll, please.
Okay. Can you let me down?
There's another darkness point for you there.
No, I have no successes.
Okay, so this vehicle comes to a halt, and the guy that's been running towards you is kind of weak, and he kind of collapses against you and holds you and says, "Thank God they're chasing me! They're chasing us! They're rounding us up!"
Just a wee point. I just know that I've got cybernetic muscles, so mine wouldn't have been weakened by stacking a status pod, would it?
You got safely to this thing, so possibly not. You know, these guys are the ones who noticed they were weak when they failed their athletics or that was a bit of narrative that I added in. So yeah, you might well be feeling fine actually. But when you fail a roll, I'll say, "Oh no, maybe even
Maybe you were a bit tired after.
So you two are hidden. He's coming up to you. These other guys kind of get out one each side of this vehicle, and they're looking mean, and they're saying, and they've got clubs. And you can also see now they've got knives at their side as well. And one
where
of them
we
shouts,
are we in a position now where somebody could jump from the high rocks onto where we are? Or do I need to kind of encourage the bloke and say, yeah, come with me, we can hide in these rocks and head back slowly towards the rocks?
You'd have to head back towards the rocks, but it'll be difficult for anybody to climb up there now without being seen onto that jumping point.
That's not the point. The point is he's going to drag the guys closer to us.
Yeah, okay. The other guys say, "Salam, welcome to the planet. Why didn't you come quietly?"
I'll say in a very weak and despairing voice, What planet is this? Who are you?
Come here, we can help you.
Not moving.
On this planet, we all need to work together to survive. We have water, we have food. Just come with us.
Is the back of this van full of people in chains?
Yeah, well, looking at it, you can see they've got kind of plastic.
Are they unconscious?
No, there's sort of gentle moaning and stuff, but they're kind of hog-tied. So
is it just the hands that are tied, or
no, hog-tied? So hands are tied, ankles are tied.
Okay.
And hands are tied to your ankles behind your
right.
back,
Okay.
sort of thing.
That's really friendly, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to keep moving towards the rocks again slowly.
So these are
and retreating back. These guys haven't seen. You can see that these guys aren't aware of you. They're kind of signalling to each other. They're spreading out once each side. They feel they've got these guys cornered. One of them pulls out a radio.
God, oh, what the hell!
I did wonder that
they're close.
And says, "Cordoba, we have a couple of live ones."
Doesn't sound good.
Well, they're not going to be. Where's the nearest other float?
You can see the one you've been tracking that was coming a bit later. Immediately,
how far away is it?
It comes towards you. It's moving faster. It's probably a kilometre away, but it's a faster vehicle.
But we've got a minute or two before it arrives at least.
What the hell? So what do I need to jump?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Let's do it.
I think you'll need to make a dexterity roll to close with them.
You'll have any agility then.
Doesn't help me very much, but let's try my little green dice. They worked earlier quite well.
Here we go.
Are we running for them then?
Oh, bollocks, we have to pray. Pray to the lady then. Oh well.
I will say, guys, tactically, I'm not going to let you do this now, but I wonder whether when you're in the rocks, you don't need a chapel to do preparatory prayer. You could have done a preparatory prayer.
That's true. You're absolutely right. That's a good point.
But you were disorientated from
yeah.
the
Yeah, we didn't
so
do
you
that.
didn't think about that. But
no, that's fair enough.
Okay. Good, you fucking son.
Okay, I'm going to do the same to try
so
and
it
close.
turns out your cybernetic muscles don't work. They They too have atrophied a bit in the time that you've been in the
Very
stasis
good,
pod.
yeah.
Just need oiling. Okay, I'm going to do my dexterity roll.
I'm going to do my dexterity roll.
Hang on, I'm going to push it.
Okay.
Oh, you fucking
Son of a-
fuckheads. No, that's a fail.
If I fail, as I
So
stumble...
basically, we haven't closed, but we're closing, I
The
You're-
guess.
blessing-
you're running
the benefit
towards
I
it.
get from the blessing. I don't have to use it on the next.
You do it on any action you like.
So I can save it with my stabbing.
Yeah.
Action. Yeah. Because I got one success then. On my
You got one
dexterity
success.
roll.
So you have closed with one of them.
Okay.
Any particular choice?
The one with the radio.
The one with the radio.
Okay. So I guess make it initiative. Actually, that's what we ought to be doing.
Okay.
As it were. That card.
Well, it's either you roll a d6 or you draw a card.
That's just,
But seeing Matt likes his cards.
no, alright.
Put that on your sleeve.
Right.
That's a good number.
Put the other pack of cards away. I will deal the cards. And I will announce each card.
It's just
as
ingenuity.
dealt.
So remind us, is high or low good in for initiative on cards in this game? Because I never use cards.
I
when
think
GM.
high, isn't it?
High. It
High-
doesn't really matter as long as you've decided and told us.
Yeah.
High is good, is it then? Yeah.
Yeah, I think because
Is that one? So high is.
you've got 5, you've got 2,
No, God.
you've got 6,
Okay.
and these guys have got 2.
Good. So we both get an action.
So you are able to use the ship.
Kill one of them, Tone.
So are you? Did you go first, or are you just closing? Did you?
Oh,
He's
6.
still got to close. You've,
Okay, well, I've took Tony's rock, so I'm going to throw the rock at the one of them that hasn't got the radio as a
okay,
range,
so
as a
you go
ranged,
first.
as a ranged attack.
So that would
What number
be
is yours?
throwing weapons.
5.
I guess that's ranged combat,
Yep.
isn't it?
So that's agility and range combat. That's 6 dice.
This isn't by any means a throwing weapon, so take -1.
Okay. Okay, that's a hit.
Hit, yeah.
Do I want to push that? I've not got a crit with one hit, am I?
No.
With a rock.
No, with a rock.
What am I going to need?
I reckon
to
a
crit
crit's
with
going to be
rock?
2, isn't it? 2 more, so you've got to get
So I
3
need 3.
successes.
Is it worth it on four dice?
Will you get stun or something? One or not? You get stun them at all?
No, but I might do some damage. We'll do some damage. Are they wearing anything like armour?
So actually, it's worth describing this. So they've got what once upon a time may have been leather. Not leather. May have been the grey overalls that you've got, but they've been dyed, so
Right,
they're not
okay.
grey. And also, they've gone sleeveless.
But again, it's basically the overall, so they don't get any.
Oh, no. They have also got an armour of sorts, but it's a mix of plastics that you recognise from the
pods.
pods and stuff like that, and also other junk that you don't particularly recognise where it's from in terms of your technical eye.
Okay.
And leather, funny kind of yellowy looking leather.
How many darkness points have we given you already?
Too many.
I have 3 darkness points.
What do you reckon?
Oh, go
Yeah,
for
go
it.
Shall I?
Go
Okay,
for it.
I'm gonna pray. Come on, beast! Don't let me down. You've been absent far too long, and you still are. Okay, I'm fed up with being a blooming Nazarene sacrifice. So that's 1 hit anyway. That's 1 6.
Okay, so their armour, as you will discover, is kind of strength 2.
And how much
Your
damage is a
stone-
rock gonna do?
1 hit does one
1 damage.
damage, yeah.
So it just bounces off her.
So it just bounces off there.
Okay.
Your attack.
So that was my slow action.
Yeah.
My fast action is to close.
Okay.
At speed, I want to rugby tackle. I want to get to her. Maybe I should have done that instead. Never mind. Kill the other one, Tone.
Okay, the one I'm on, then I'm just going to stab them. Which is, so melee combat, I have 6 dice. If I use the blessing, which I will,
Gives you 3 more dice.
gives me 3 more dice. And what's the crit for this then? Did we decide?
Crit is 2.
So
So you need 3 successes.
So that's 2 successes.
You got to push that.
Yeah.
I have another darkness point, please. Thank you very much.
Come on. Yes.
Yes, I've got 3 successes.
Okay.
So a normal knife does 2 damage.
Yep. And you want to make a crit?
And I'll crit. And I'll go with green.
Come on,
Where's the
Tone.
crit?
66. Come on.
66!
Yeah! 66. My one-shot shiv, you just put it through her eye.
Yeah, so you
Die, bitch.
ram it into her eye. It snaps off. So, for a moment she's going, oh, fuck! And just keels over with this gruesome looking
Nice work, Salah.
shiv out of it.
Although now we're used to just hitting them over the head with rocks.
There's only one of them left. There's 4 of us.
Yeah, as long as we can finish them off before the other vehicle arrives.
The other guy, the other prisoner, is running away from you guys. So the one that's close with you immediately
So I think it's...
runs back to the vehicle.
Isn't it Annie's action?
Yeah, but that's what she's doing on seeing that.
Right,
She-
okay.
You were closing with her, but she
Yeah.
sees that and starts running. Because Andy, you're on 2, aren't you?
I'm on 2, yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
so you and she go simultaneously.
Okay then.
Get to the vehicle.
Yeah, I'll try and bring her down before she gets to the vehicle.
You're rugby tackling her, so make a dexterity roll, please,
Okay.
to catch up with her.
Oh,
Flying through the air
Yeah.
towards her.
Are these your dodgy weighted wooden dice?
No, that's just lies told by your little brother.
3 successes.
3 successes.
3 successes. Okay. So
Uber critical
you
success.
fly through the air. You've almost missed her, but you realise that this is a lovely rabbit tail. You're going to come in just around the shins, under her knees. She goes BAM against the ground.
Like a sack of spuds.
And you are effectively grappled. You've grappled her for those crits, and also I think she's probably taken a point of damage.
Okay.
So can Tony use what's left of the shiv?
Well, I can grab the weapons off the one I killed. So she's had a club and a
Yeah,
knife.
yeah.
So
Yes.
so
She can't use one. It's a one-use weapon,
Fair enough.
and it's
It
round,
was
round in her skull.
Hey, that was an effective one-use
But
weapon.
she
My
does
gear,
have a club and a knife.
yeah, my gearhead has worked out quite well then.
In fact, you looking at the club as you pick it up. It's a stun weapon.
Okay. Are you running that rule as I suggested after the podcast when we talked about stun weapons, or are you doing the
I'm doing it. We'll
crappy, shitty, pointless, wanking, rubbish version?
I
was
mean,
written?
I'm going.
The ineffective, you might as well beat them to death. You've got better chance of actually putting them down quickly than stunning them.
It does normal damage as well, but there's a stun effect. It's electric, is what I'm saying. But you can still club something to death with it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm grabbing the knife and the club.
Is that the next round?
Running for the. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is next round, but we don't do new initiative, so it's.
So it's me first.
Oh, why do I keep thinking it's Tony going first? Yeah.
So I was closing with her as well.
Yeah.
So can I take her knife out of her off her
Now
belt?
he's caught her and she's grappled
and
effectively.
plunge it through the back of her head.
You can take the knife this round. You're sending her a holster. You'd be, if you're drawing your own thing, I'd say it's
Okay.
your fast action is closing. Or you could do a
quick attack, couldn't I?
It's not fast action, slow action. It's 3 action points.
So I could.
So you could do
close,
stab
grab,
at -2.
Yeah, I'll do that. Might as well. So my melee is 5 normally, so that's 3. And is this... What's the stats for this? Is this a Dura knife? Is this a normal knife?
It's a knife, a normal knife.
So the same stats
Yeah.
as the other one. So crit 2. So I need 3 successes to get a crit. No. So I miss.
Right. So you clang against her armour.
Well,
You
just
went-
just beside her head in the sand or
you
something.
went fast enough.
Yeah.
Tony.
Okay, I'm grabbing the knife and the club for the
Okay.
one I just killed, and then running
Okay, coming over to the other.
towards everyone else by the vehicle.
one.
Presumably, I won't get there in time to have an attack. Will I? Quick attack? Fun.
No, I don't think so. Not on this one. You drew 2 weapons.
Seems fair.
And Andy?
Okay, what's she doing? Struggling, I
Well,
suppose.
she's struggling. Oh, she can
Hold
try and
basically
break.
hold her down. You've got her in a
Uh,
grapple, and then presumably we can coup de grace her.
She does quite well. Now this is a sort of free action for you. But
I am kind of right over her as well. I'm not grappling her, but
yeah, but she's trying to break the grapple, which is the thing. So just give me a moment. I can't remember what you have to do to respond to that. She's done quite well. So I was thinking she probably wouldn't.
maybe she should just surrender. She's seen how good we are.
Nobody surrenders on Prison Planet.
Thanks for the advice.
That's the motto of.
yeah.
Forgot my way around the rules. So long since we played.
What are you looking for? Grappling.
Yeah. So you make a melee combat roll.
Me? Okay.
Yeah.
This is to resist her grapple, isn't it?
So 6 in there. Ooh,
Yeah. How many?
3 6.
No, you've got a firm.
Is that
Okay,
clear?
you again then.
Shall I just kill her?
Yes.
Can I coup de grace? Seeing she's grappled? Or do I get her?
No, you have to.
Okay. What bonus do I get for her
You
being
get +2 though.
grappled and prone? +2.
Yeah.
That's 2 successes. Oh no, it's only 1 success. I thought that was a 6. I'm going to damage her, but do you want me to do we want to crit her?
Ideally, we want to finish it quickly because we want.
Yeah. Okay. I'm good.
For the other vehicle arrives.
So I need two sixes. Yes. So that's 3 6s.
Okay.
So that's 2 damage,
Okay.
and then the crit with my executioner talent. 64.
64. So just remind us what 64 is. You drive it into her neck. Blood spurts out of her aorta, and she will be dead in 6 minutes. Pumping.
I'm taking a jacket
Okay.
with the armour on it.
The armour. So that is.
Let's get the armour
Well,
on the
that's
other one.
it's kind of a more complicated job in terms of it's strapped on in various parts of her body.
Okay.
It'll give you an armour rating of 2.
How far away is the...
Well, who's looking? You looking?
So that's been 3 combat rounds. So that's about 15 seconds we've taken
Yeah.
to finish them off.
So who's looking?
All of us, I
Oh,
guess.
yeah, would be a good idea.
The dust trail has disappeared. Instead, you can see the glint of a big guy You have been listening to The Coriolis Effect, presented by Fiction Suit with the RPG Gods, with music by Stars on a Black Sea, used with permission of Free League Publishing. Imagery from NASA and the Hubble Space Telescope, brought to you by Wikimedia Commons. Typeface is Code by Font Fabric.